in graffiti you learn to rack, especially spray paint. That's a staple. So like I said, most writers learn how to rack. Anyway, some writers put it under their arm, wear a puffer jacket, but most writers balls it off. But once we learned how to shirt rack, that was like amazing. The first time I went into a B&Q and I come out with 20 cans, walk past security, had a puffer on. They can't even see I've got 20 cans on me.
Killa Kela podcast. KillaKelaOfficial.com. You need the Kelavision app. 24/7 mini documentaries, podcasts, live shows, DJ live streams, top fives, subscription packages, plus products for all your podcasts and street culture sports. Download it from the App Store for free today.
Instagram UK Frontline.
Beatbox created.
Killa Kela.
And we're here to talk about world music and street culture.
Killa Kela podcast.
Here we go again, back again.
Back again.
Direct. Ladies and gentlemen, Killa Kela podcast, live and direct, central as you know where, for you know what, street culture. Big shout out to graffitikings.co.uk, and shout out to everybody who's got the Kelavision app on a free download. If you're watching, camera on, click. If you're listening, stay locked. We have a returning guest, and I don't say this lightly because my guy has continued the campaign, and without question one of the nicest human beings, and one of the most notorious at the same time. That awesome Idea DDS.
Love.
Telling you, man. I'm telling
Wicked.
you. Every time we hang out, it's always a bless.
It's always a blessing, man.
Innit?
Always.
Innit?
Yeah, man.
What's been going on?
Well, just rolling with life, you know. Things are going on. Active as I can be. And just enjoying life as much as I can, you know.
The bombing game, man. Like, what's the theory on coverage?
Well, it's just, you know, I don't really have a theory, you know. It's just like when I go out to bomb, it's like a freestyle. I just freestyle, and it's where I put my tags. I think where I put my tags and how I drop them, or bombing in general, is how you do it, which is, you know, it comes across differently to other people, you know. I mean, some people might just put a tag anywhere and there, but I have methods into, you know, like when I do insides, I'm hitting only certain spots. Or when I do street bombing, I see somewhere and I want to hit that spot instead of, you know, just anywhere. You know, I find that with Graff and with bombing in general, you've got to do that, you know, to not just to be seen, or, you know, you might hit certain spots and you might get buffed, but it's methodical, isn't it? So if you hit some place, or like earlier you said to me, yeah, you might blitz anything, but 2 tags might stay. The rest will get buffed.
Is that a lot right? Is there an average in your head where you're like, yeah, that?
Yeah,
Yeah?
definitely. Yeah.
What's your experience? In your experience, 1 in 10 tags, how many stay, do you reckon?
It depends on where you are. So in general, 1 in 10 tags, I would say maybe 5, maybe half of them will stay. Maybe sometimes less than that, do you know? Because a lot of buff happens, but nowadays I notice there's not as much buff going on. I think everyone sees that.
Yeah, that's becoming very
It's
prevalent,
great,
isn't
it's
it?
great.
But there's also placement. And the interesting thing about the way you play is the placement is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, no fucks where,
No.
but how is very important, isn't it?
Placement is very important. I mean, with bombing in general, you can go out and bomb anywhere, but you have to hit specific spots in order to be seen, for it not to get buffed. It all comes into that, it's all one, you know? So if you think about where you're putting stuff, like people that do dubs on rooftops, they've thought about going up there. They've seen it from wherever, and they might have been walking, they might have been on a bus.
That's a whole different art to get up there.
You see what I'm
first.
saying? Yeah. So, you know, it's a big game of what we do.
Have you ever had that dance whereby you've had to create this scenario, you've had to apply that scenario into practice and do it, like go up or climb up a roof or climb up something, to a chimney or whatever, and you get to that point and then you got to submit. You've already committed, then you just got to do it.
You just got to do it. Once you're up there, you've fought to go up there. Sometimes it might not plan out. You know, you might get up there and there might be some certain barbed wire or something, or a big gap. But in general, writers, I think, when they see a spot, it doesn't matter what's in their way, they're getting there. And I mean, that's what graffiti writers do, isn't it? They're on it.
You know, I love chatting to you. And if you haven't checked out the last podcast, I mean, this is standard stuff, right? We just get into it and like whatever, we end up bang.
Calm, yeah.
But the thing I love about chatting with you is you open a whole wide conversation of variables.
I see.
The first thing I want to ask you is like when you're up a high area and all of a sudden you come across a drop. What's your first thought?
I mean, the first thought is, shit, man, that's dangerous. Do you know what I'm saying?
What have I got myself into here?
But with adrenaline and stuff, you know, with certain spots, your adrenaline's going on. And I find that with yard, when you do yards, you know it's hot. It might be the hottest yard, or you might be bombing in the hottest place, but that adrenaline kind of carries you through. You know, at first you get that thought, yeah, should I be here or shouldn't I? Shouldn't be here, or if I drop down there, I might be a goner.
Yeah.
But that's not around for long. You know, like I said before, graff writers always seem to overcome that. And that you want to get to that spot, so you'll get there.
But when it's not factored in, like to anybody that is listening that ain't, you know, like me, for instance, who just wouldn't, it's inconceivable. Because you know, you get parkour and things like that, where they're preempting something and they've worked it, calculated it.
For real.
You boys don't calculate, girls as well. Do not calculate this. This is something that's like, well, me, right, if I go jump, that's bonkers.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, there's a spot on the Big Met, just by Kilburn Park Station on the Jubilee and Big Met. And I think few people, Force has got to reach up there. Yeah. It's actually a rooftop, which is on the top of a block of houses or flats. But to get there, you've got to go onto this ledge. And to get to the other side, there's literally, it looks like about a 50-foot drop. And you have to jump over that to get to that ledge.
How big is the gap of that jump?
I mean, the gap, when you get there, from the street, it doesn't look that much. And from the train, you think, oh, yeah, that's a reach. I want to go there. And that's exactly what happened to me. I've gone on tracks there and thought, I want to get over there. Even though there's dubs there, but I wanted to just get a tag up there or something. When I've got there, do you think I could do it, bro?
Really?
I've looked, and it turned me around because, you know, as I've got older, heights, so I'm a bit booky with heights.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say probably in my youngers, there wouldn't have been so much thought. I probably would have just jumped that. But, I mean, it's a big drop. Big drop.
I've heard stories about these sorts of things. I wouldn't know too much about. And don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen. It's not recommended. Please don't do that. Not under this watch. But if you're in a situation like that, I don't know how I would react.
Big up Band, because a lot of writers knows what happened to Band at F.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on a ledge. He stood on an air conditioning unit and it crumpled. And he ended up on the tracks, which was like 30 feet below. So that's what, you know, that's what reminded me of that. And I respect Band so much.
Oh, me too. He's a good guy as well.
That would have been a line in his career for a lot of people. Yeah. But this man carried on.
Yeah.
I mean, I linked him after that when he was on crutches and he's bombing.
Big up Band, like Band, honestly. Just carrying on with the theme of no mission too big. Let's get into some conversations about some of your biggest ones.
Let's do it.
Give me a story that completely defies the odds of you coming out of it unscathed.
Well, I've got quite a mad one. Bosch, Zonk, Misto. I'm not sure if Ouch was there. There was a few of us. We were on the Thameslink tracks in between Hendon and Crickwood. And just before you get to Crickwood Station, there's like a retail park on the right-hand side, which is opposite the depot. Yeah. So you've got Currys and all that there. I think it was at Ison or Bestway, that's what it was. So we've all decided to get on top of that roof because when the trains go past, it's a perfect reach. Like, it's just up there. Like, if you get a dub up there, it's a live plot. So we've all gone there to one night. To get up there, it was like a drain pipe, you know, classic, get up, climb up the drain pipe. It weren't too much of a mission to get up there.
The milk tray advert.
You just have to be quiet, you know, because we don't know if people was in there. Oh. But anyway, this story was mad because we've all got up there. There's about 5 of us, as I say. Throwing up first outlines. I remember filling in. And then someone said, shout my name. I've looked. There's an undercover police car coming down. And I've seen them get out with their walkie-talkies, go, hey. So obviously then we've all scarpered. Yeah, so I think Zonk and Misto ended up getting arrested. They went down that way. Me and Bosch have jumped off this ledge, which is about 20 feet. But it was so high, you couldn't just jump off it like, we're not Superman, are we?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I remember being up there and Bosch actually said to me, you go first. And I was like, oh, shit, you go first. And he was like, no, you go first. If you go, I'm coming. So in the end, I've hang dropped it, innit? So I've gone down on the ledge like that.
How far was the drop from there?
It's at least 20 foot.
Oh,
maybe 25 to pushing 30.
Oh, my God.
Because I remember when I let go, I remember how long, before I hit the floor.
Oh, my
It was like a good few seconds. So man's dropped.
Can I just say, if you're listening, or wherever you're doing this, imagine that. Imagine that just
crazy.
for 1 minute. Just the idea of you letting go of something
Yeah.
and not knowing
Yeah.
when you're going to hit terra firma.
Yeah. And it was a mad situation because before, literally 20 seconds before, we've seen an undercover police car pull up. So we had to make the split decision. So it was just mad. Like, we didn't really talk to each other. Like, Zonk and Mister and that went that way, ended up getting bagged. Because the feds had gone that way, obviously thought, they must have gone up the drain pipe. Because me and Boss made that split decision to go that way, it was a mad thing. I've dropped. I've actually, to this day, I've got a little thing here. I don't know if you can see.
Nice. What's that?
That's
An
nice, a
interesting,
little
that's a nice
memory.
one. Look at that.
But,
On his wrist. For those of you listening, he's just pulled out his wrist and there's a nice kind of indentation.
Crazy,
going on there.
like sometimes it's stiff, but
Okay.
from that drop, I landed on my feet first. But when you drop, it's human nature to put your hands down. Yeah. So obviously my hands felt full force, and this one jolted like I don't know. It was a mad injury. I didn't go nowhere for it.
There ain't not really the rolling thing to do when you're busy trying to escape
no.
from somewhere.
And there's police there, and there's probably more on the way. So then next thing I've seen Bosch come. Funny enough, fella, he just bounced off the concrete and got up. And anyway, we had to jump onto tracks because we're not away. We've just done like 30% of getting away. So when we're on the floor now, we just said, right, let's go over there, let's get onto tracks because, as we feel safe on tracks. But to get on these tracks, there was a free spike. Yeah, and free spikes are horrible to get over. So it's a fence, you've got the structure like that.
Oh, I know, and there's 3 little things in them.
3 little prongs like that. We happened to fly over that night. But they're sticky because if you get stuck on it, you wouldn't like to get,
Really?
Yeah, get that in your bum. It's not nice. Or anywhere in your hand. I think in the past I had one, the top of one going to my hand. It's sharp.
Stop that.
So anyway, we've got over that. And imagine we've got over this free spike and then we're sort of in a alleyway. There's only another fence with barbed wire on it. So we've had to accomplish that one now.
Oh, my God. Crypto factor.
We've managed to get over that barbed wire fence, got onto the tracks, and right by Crickwood, where we was, opposite Bestway, there's like huts. Certain writers will know what we're talking about. Ouch, big up. All them, man, because we were in their back garden. So that yard, we've seen a little brick hut. They've got loads of them, like workers' huts. They keep buckets and that in there. It's practically in the yard.
Are they in there? Can you see them?
The huts are there, but no one's there. But the trains are laid up there. So me and Pat have had to run into this hut, yeah? And so lucky. As soon as we got into the hut, we've seen a police helicopter coming. Yeah, and it was coming our way. So Pat said, bruv, let's get in this hut. And we've gone in this hut, waited. Obviously, the helicopter was coming for us, lot. Yeah, because the feds had nicked them too. And obviously, there's 2 or 3 outstanding to the feds, innit? So helicopters come. Meanwhile, we're in this hut like this. Don't want to move. We had to stay in there for about 45 minutes. And anyway, those days, the helicopter couldn't stay out that long. It was about 45 minutes.
Really?
Hours maximum, isn't it? So we kept peeping out there. And then when we seen that the police car's gone, helicopter done a few things. After 45 minutes, it's ducked. Then we split. And that was a good mission because we ended up getting away. I feel sorry for Zonk and them, but nothing really happened to them anyway. It was only minor what we done. We had just done half a dub and then got hotted. But that was just one situation that I've been in.
So
it was crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. And like the way you explained that is so, it's very genteel. This is the manner of how you explain things. You know what I mean? It's a story and a half, and it's like, well, actually, you make it sound as if like an occupational hazard, a day in the life.
Yeah.
How frequent was that?
I mean, sometimes it was daily. We were getting into situations like that. I mean, because back in the day, I'd say we were so hardcore. We wanted to do the hardcore things like get in train tunnels, go like G Road was a mecca of that, because to get into that depot, you have to negotiate the train tunnel. And when you're getting in that train tunnel, a train's coming. So it's on that level.
This is all in hindsight, by the way. This is retrospective. We're talking about history. When you go into that tunnel, what was it like? What, as in, like, you had no margin for if a train comes, you're fucked?
No, you're not fucked. You're fucked if you don't get into an alcove.
Okay.
In time, because in tunnels there's alcoves every sort of 20 metres,
right,
which is like that, and there's just enough room. It's like they've thought of that. Whoever designed tunnels, they've designed it so a human body can get in and the train can squeeze past.
Oh, man.
Just enough, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That shit's scary to think about.
But it's adrenaline.
Really?
It's adrenaline fueled. Like, I mean, I've been in tunnels a few times and trains have gone past, and I'm not going to say I weren't scared, because I was. But it's a nice scared.
Really?
Because you're buzzing off it. Yeah.
Adrenaline?
Yeah, man. Like, big adrenaline. Like, I think I told you on the last podcast, I had a train stop right next to me before, and the driver was literally right there. Like, and I'm here. I'm literally right here. Like, all he had to do is just look out the window. But to drivers, obviously, when they're in the tunnel, their lights are on.
They don't see you.
They can't see in the darkness. But when you're in that situation, you think they can see you. So when the train stopped to me now, don't think I'm shaking like a leaf, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't look out that window. Yeah, a few times. And then when that goes, all the sparks are going,
Oh, shit.
They're right next to you.
Really?
Yeah, the sparks, I've been in that situation before. You're in an alcove like that, the train stopped, and then when the train pulls off, I'm sure everyone's seen this, when the tube train pulls off, just as it's pulling off, you get them mad sparks.
Yeah?
They come off like every sort of few yards. Yeah, and to be next to one of them, it's a buzz.
So this is on the sides of the trains. This is when you're outside.
It's crazy.
What do you think, like the vulnerability that maybe the drivers will see? They see you. Do you think their first instinctive reaction if they saw you was to get him off the track, save his life, or
Yes.
is it you're a trespasser, go get him?
Yeah.
both
It'll
of them.
be the latter.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, come on, man. I mean, a lot of us back in the day, we're young, like we're just out there, innit, to do graff. But to them, they're like an enemy, isn't it? We're like an enemy to them. So I've never been clocked in a tunnel, I don't think, by a driver. But if they did clock you, I think they would be shocked more than anything as well. Do you know?
Yeah. It's like
so it's to be like
Duppy in front of them, like
yeah. I guarantee they'd get straight on the radio and they wouldn't move that train more. If they're brave, they'd get out. I think there has been a time when I've been shouted at by a driver in a tunnel, and we've been clocked down near King's Cross, in between King's Cross and Farringdon.
Okay.
Because we used to frequent that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good spot to go.
Can we talk about Farringdon for a bit? The setup that was there before Farringdon.
Mad setup. I mean, the way that you used to get into that depot was crazy. And I've never done Farringdon, but I know about it because I've been to that door. There used to be a door. And the mad thing about it, it's right next to Snow Hill Police Station. There's a police station right there.
Really?
But the entrance to get in that yard, you used to go there, go into the back of this door, it's sort of some mad alcove, and then you'd come out the back and come out into the yard, like above the yard.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Cherish showed me back in the day, Cherish and Fame.
That sounds like something so unconceivable these
And
days.
that method, that way to get in the yard was around for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, to the point they probably knew it?
They did know it. They clocked onto it in the end.
Really?
Yeah. There's another one like that, big up Tox. I done Moorgate with Tox, Teach, Elk on the Thameslink.
Big up them, man.
It's on the same side as the Hammersmith and City line, but they lay up 2 or 3 Thameslink trains in the tunnel. So, yeah, we've all met up to go and do these. Someone's found out there's 2 trains there, and usual. Yeah, we're going there this day. We've met up. I just couldn't believe the way we got into this yard. Tox has brought us down this mad thing. He's walked up to this metal door. So in London, you've got these sort of metal doors.
Yeah,
you just walk past, oblivious.
Yeah.
But he's just gone up to it, booted it off. We've gone in, ended up in some mad, like, maze, pitch black. Like, we had to go down under this bit, up over this bit, down under this bit. bust a left, we come into this mad black room, go down there, and then all I remember, you crawl through this little thing, and there's trains right there going past, and you're on the lines. Crazy.
What's it like when you go into those places? Explain the
Oh,
feeling.
it's beautiful, it's beautiful.
Is it
I
like
love it.
Is it like some sort of like utopia of just like...
Exactly.
Prime,
It's exactly
Prime
that.
described it on podcasts as it really was
Yeah,
like another
it's
ecosystem.
special. It is
another
special. I mean, these are the special things about graffiti that I feel privileged to have been there in them. A lot of people that don't do graffiti, like normal people, if you can say normal, that haven't experienced that, they wouldn't know that these places exist under London.
Even there.
Yeah, like Holborn Viaduct. That's another one.
Really?
Yeah, that you can get down there. If you get caught there, the police will come. But
Well, the police will come anytime.
anyway,
like just
but
add
yeah,
that.
Holborn Viaduct is a hot one.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And London is full of history like that. There's places underneath the ground that people don't know, but graffiti-wise know about. Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, it's and just relaying it back to what my recesses as a kid used to. I used to see you at breakdance and things at Scratch and stuff.
See.
I mean, Mudlums and
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes.
You know, it's an unspoken world.
Yes.
That, you know what I mean? It's kind of Mission Impossible. It's like secret agent shit.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess that's part of the charm of it.
Yes. Big up AOS, because AOS, if you know of that crew, I think Fume started it, and Fume and someone. AOS stands for Arcane Ones, which is unknown, innit? Unknown.
Wow.
Like, we're an unknown family.
Arcane.
Yeah, Arcane. So AOS, if you know that crew, that's what it means.
Wow.
Arcane Ones. And I thought that's a bad crew. I still put it up to this day.
That's a badass.
Yeah, because arcane, if you look it up in the dictionary, it means unknown, like secret, you know, society, like almost like secret society, like, you know,
That's so sick.
unknown ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so intel for you. All right, so we talked about the train mission outside the trains. We've talked about the yard missions outside the trains. What about missions?
Do you want to hear about one?
When you're on the train?
Okay. It's funny you said that, because you hit the nail right on the head. I'm saying recently, I found myself on top of a train, surfing. Yeah, because
What?
I was doing insides, and the train stopped, yeah, just before White City. Now, back in the days, I used to hit the Central Line, yeah, and everybody knew if the train stopped before White City, you've been clocked somehow. Because the train would stop because the driver's talking to police, boom, boom. You know, trains, they stop before stations at signals and whatnot, or if there's a train in the station, they have to wait for that one to pull out. So anyway, recently, a few months ago, I was doing my business, and then the train stopped just before White City, and I'm with a couple of boys. Big up Seb, big up Pilot, big up Agro. But that night I was only with Seb. So Seb's got a big bag of paint on him and that. I've only just got my pens and that. So the train stopped, and me being me, like, I'm a bit paranoid nowadays, and because of the history, I know about when the train stops. Every writer knows when the train stops, it feels spooky, especially when you've been active. So we've just battered the train, like. So the train stopped, and it seemed like 5-10 minutes, but in reality, because of the adrenaline, it was only about 2-3 minutes. So I've jumped the gun a bit. So what I've done, I've said to Seb, this is hot, because I've been nicked like that before years ago. The train stopped, pulled in, there was about 20 BTs there.
So
Bam!
hold on, let me just create the situation, because jumping the gun, then there's jumping the cannon, right? Like, so you're sitting there,
Yeah.
it stopped. You're sitting there like every pedestrian would in that situation,
Yeah.
but you made the active decision to...
I had to get out of that train. And
While it's in there?
Basically, years ago, I used to carry a bit of China in case, when there was fire extinguishers on the train, you could just pop the window with a fire extinguisher. But they're not there no more, isn't it? So I didn't have no China, nothing to pop the window with. So, you know, the joiner carriage on the Central Line and on most of the tube trains now, if you go through that door, they've made it hard for you to get out of the train. And I'm sure it's for grief. It's for humans in general, so you can't fall out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people walk through the carriages.
It's piss take.
So if you notice on new trains, they've got this big bit of black rubber,
Yeah.
which is in between the carriages. So
Okay.
when you go through that door, you can't actually get out there. So they thought. So that night, I thought, I've made a decision, I have to get out of that train. So Seb's standing there, and he's watched me go. "Ruh." I've got stuck in between the black rubber, yeah?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and it's quite dangerous because if that train moves while you're stuck, that rubber moves and it will just crush you.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? Because the train, everyone knows the trains bounce as they go along. So if they bounce, that rubber moves and you're stuck in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've got up there thinking, because I've never done that before, got out that way. So I've got up there, got sort of halfway out. My head is above the train, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, what could you see when you first...
Okay, so my head is looking there, yeah, and I'm stuck on the rubber. So the rubber's holding me in between the train. But eventually I managed to prise myself up like this. I had to sort of go at a diagonal like that to get myself... I couldn't go like that. You had to sort of go at a mad angle, if you get what I'm saying. So in the end, I've got past here. Where I got stuck was here.
Fuck.
So when I got past my waistline, I was on top of the train. And it hadn't moved yet, yeah? So I'm on top of the train like this, like Spider-Man, yeah? Like thinking, shit, because this is central now, and if it moves, I could actually slide off. There's only like this little bit of metal going along the side of it, so I put my foot on there.
How much space did you have on the ceiling to the train?
I'm actually on top of the train, and I'm just... See the trains like that? I'm on this bit here. So I'm
sort of side.
I'm on that curved bit there. So because that's where
so
I felt
for those
safest.
of you that are listening and not watching, so he's on the top of the train, and he's just off adjacent to the centre where there's a little bit more air pocket.
Yes.
I'm thinking to myself, bro, like if that starts moving, that air's gonna just start whipping you.
Bruv, I'm on top of the train, yeah. So
Oh my God.
Seb, yeah, I felt sorry for him because he's got a bit of a bad foot. And he's going to me, I won't be able to get up there, bruv. I won't be able to get up there. And then I've realised, shit, bruv, you won't be able to get up here, bruv. He's got a bad leg. There's no way he's going to get up there. So I felt bad because at that point, all the things, all the scenarios, all the possible, I'm thinking BTs are going to be there. Boom, 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 boom. First thing I said to him, bruv, give me that paint. So he's passed me the bag of paint and I've just dashed it into the bush, yeah? Guess what? I've looked, the train's on a red signal, yeah, and I've seen it go bling to green.
Oh my God.
I've just dashed my man's bag of paint. Yeah. He had about 10 tins of paint and about, I think, 10 pens in his, all full up. Like, we've been busy now. We was only halfway through our mission. So the train light's gone green now, and guess what? The train started moving. And White City, I can see the station. And I didn't have time to get back in and all. And
you didn't go into a tube or nothing? There was nothing?
No,
we
were outside, because White City
That's
was
what
outside.
I was thinking. I was thinking, fucking hell, what happens?
Yeah,
Okay.
so in between North Acton or... Yeah.
You said bush, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, for a second now, I was thinking to myself,
Yeah.
oh my
So
God.
basically, we're right outside White City Station.
Yeah, I get you.
And we're here, the station's here.
Yeah.
I could see the station.
So anyone could see you up there doing the Spider-Man?
It's dark, but I was worried that now I'm going to have to stay on the train. Yeah, I thought I could jump off because I could have jumped off. But then it's a bit deep leaving Seb and all that, the situation. So I thought, I made this decision to stick to the train, basically do a Spider-Man. So anyway, I've seen the light go green.
What were you holding on to? Like,
I was just holding this side, I was holding on. So imagine that the roof is like that of a tube train.
Yeah.
And I'm on this bit.
Curved,
so
yeah.
I've put my arm there, just
so
on the
you're holding
curve.
onto the
And
curve.
on the edge of the train, there's like this little lip, which is like a little metal gutter. It's not even a gutter, but it's like a lip.
Yeah.
So it was enough to put your foot on. So that's all that was holding me. My foot was literally like that, and I'm just like that. So I'm not really safe.
That
If the
doesn't
train
sound-
done a bad
it's
jump or...
stunned, yeah.
Yeah, you're off. So anyway, the train started moving, lights gone green, train started moving. I don't know what Seb must have thought. He must have thought I've jumped off anyway or something. But I've stayed on that train, pulled into White City Station. Yeah, I've pulled into... People must have seen me and that. So as it's got into the station and then it stopped, as soon as it stopped, I got back in the way I come out.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to dust yourself off like some
Mad.
sort
It was
of
mad.
007 moment,
But-
get onto the platform.
Yeah, bro. It was literally, it felt like that because I've never been in that situation before. I've surfed trains, but not on the roof. I've surfed the back. you
Yeah.
know. Back in the days, big up rating event.
Yeah.
We always used to get into the back cabin, open the back door. We used to get fast all gate from Harrow on the Hill deliberately.
What?
So we could do insides and then fly out the back of the train, bomb the back of the train, and then just hang on to it going past all the Jubilee line stations. And we're just waving
Waving.
at people, yo! And they're thinking, what the fuck?
Yo,
Guys
one
hanging
hell-
off the back of the train with a
That's one
spray
hell of an
can.
Orient Express.
Yeah, literally, on the old Big Mets, you just got this one pole. You can literally hang off it and have a lot of fun. But anyway, the Central Line, that wasn't a lot of fun. I was crapping myself. But it turned out all right because the train pulled in. As soon as it stopped, I managed to get myself back in because you can't go back in that way if the train's moving. The rubber bits, they'd suck you or they'd crush you. They'd crush you.
Yeah. That's what.
So when the train stopped, I quickly made the decision, got back down, got in that door.
How easy was it to get back in? I mean, it sounds like a nightmare.
Funny enough, you said that. When I got back down in, it was easy because I just got out. Yeah,
because your weight is pushing down to get you through. Oh,
and there was the sense of urgency.
Sounds like
I knew I had to get back in that train. What if a driver comes or they see me on top of the train? I'm in the station and the cameras. So when I've got into the train, guess what? The first thing that come out of Seb's face, his mouth, where's my paint, bruv? Not are you all right, bruv, or anything like that. Like the first thing he said is, bruv, where's my paint? And I said, bruv, I dashed it. Yeah. And he was like, his face, bruv. Anyway, we've dashed out the station. We took the decision then to try and go on the street and try and find it. But do you think we could? No. So
you've thrown it into the ether.
I threw it. I made sure I threw it good. So and I see it go into a bush.
Yeah. Well, it's for someone else in the future. I wonder. Actually, can I just, Richard? There's going to be a lot of this in this podcast. Do not do that shit anywhere. All right, don't not go there. This is a story. It's a nice story. It's a nice story. All right. I
wish it on no one really. It's a mad predicament.
I wonder how many old cans and they're in plastic bags or that are lurking around from
plenty.
Can you imagine?
Oh, it must be loads.
Loads of paint, loads of old school paint.
Loads and loads.
What was your favourite old school paint?
Well, my favourite old school paint, I had a few. Smooth Right.
Right.
Banging paint.
Better than Hammer Right.
Oh yeah. The old Smooth Right, the original Smooth Right cans, banging. The white, the red. It used to come in like white, red, blue, black. And then Cherish showed me a way that you could mix the paints. So you used to get one white, Smooth Right, get the nozzle, put a tube, and then another nozzle into a red.
Yeah, but this is
and then you'd spray, and then you'd get a pink Smooth Right.
So what, you spray it? How would you
spray the white into, you'd have this mad thing, it's like a nozzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a tube. So you know on WD-40 or GT85, you get this little red tube.
Yeah,
it's
I wondered
literally one of those.
Really?
And Cherish, I don't know how, if he got shown this by someone else, Fuel Prime, I don't know. I bet they all knew about it because a few of the old school writers used to mix paint. So, but Cherish showed me, he's the first one who opened my eyes. And when I see him doing it, and then when I see him using a red Smooth Right, but it's coming out pink. And I'm talking banging pink, like he's put the perfect bit of white into it and it's just sick.
Can you do me a favour? I don't know if you'd mind. I'll keep it pixelated. Show us that can that's in your bag.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yo, that was like a...
okay.
You got it.
Let's go.
You got it. You like...
Big up Zombie.
Yeah, big up Zombie, because this is a collector's item. Okay, so it is being used.
So when Zombie handed me this recently, I was like... I was buzzing.
Yeah.
I mean, how many writers have seen this?
Check that.
This is a spray can, but it's not paint. This is ink.
What?
So it's literally like oxblood phoebins in a can.
I can already see by the tip.
Dirty.
That's not going to leave much that touches it.
I mean, I like to do insides. I like to do outsides.
Iron lac is just... It's mad,
This is crazy. I mean, I've never seen ink in a can. Never in my life. I mean, I just think this is amazing.
Not readily available, not the sort
no,
of thing...
I mean, Zombie said he only had 2 or 3 cans and he gave me one because he knew I'm going to use it.
Animal red.
Yeah, and he told me, make sure you use that and send me some pictures. Yeah. So I'm due to do that soon.
Crazy.
Yeah, and he made sure he gave me a big fat cap.
Yeah, so I see. It looks like it looks like it's ready to go, yeah.
So I'm thinking of putting a Lego on it and making it last. You know what I'm saying? Get as many tags out of it as possible.
I was thinking about this, to be fair. Actually, let's carry on with the paint can thing, because what other brands were of their time?
Back in the day, Jet Black was banging paint.
Yeah.
Smooth Right, Jet Black, and I used to rack high street fads. So you know the paint shop where everyone used to buy Dulux. So it used to be on every high street, Woolworths. Then you'd have your fads, Tandies.
Yeah, I remember fads.
Remember Tandies? Fads?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
fads.
I remember that.
They used to have home styles in it, which was the banging chromes, all the range. Big up Diet, all the chestnut browns, all the chestnut brown home styles, all the chromes, just basically the whole home style range. And I visited many fads back in the day and got paint.
But
It's
this,
so
like,
easy.
for instance, this is one of a kind. You can't just get
This is new. This is new school. Like, I've never seen this in my life. I mean, I've seen iron lac. I've used iron lac paint, but not ink. No. I mean, look at the name. The animal spraying.
I know.
I mean, that just says it all.
Yeah,
The
no.
animal, like.
Animal red.
I mean, this is animal. Like, I mean, it's a problem.
What was what's it called? The duck.
Oh yeah. Rubber ducks.
Rubber ducks.
Wicked stuff.
Can't
Stop
find
that
it.
leak.
Stop that leak. I've tried finding this online when I do the little pictures, but you'll see, Kels, this is for you. You're trying to find this picture right now. It ain't there, bro. It's
Big up.
hard to find.
Bro, back in the day, rubber ducks got racked out by writers. I mean, BTP even went as far as going to home base because they only saw rubber duck in home base and certain B&Qs, if I'm right, and do-it-alls.
I'm the dude.
So rubber duck was actually it's a sealant paint for guttering. So it was so
Black and
perfect.
thick, I guess, super
you get
thick.
black and silver. I don't know why they sold it in silver. So maybe there was the guttering you can get in silver and black.
For
innit?
buildings
Black,
and in
obviously.
factories and shit.
Yeah. So rubber duck was always in a safe place in the shop because where all the stuff for guttering and where rubber duck was right where it's nowhere near paint. So obviously writers clocked onto that and it just used to get wrapped. The chrome was sick. You put a fat crap on a rubber duck, you know about it. You just fill a dub quickly.
Really?
Yeah, it used to fade after a bit like Waxaw, but it was strong. It was strong. Good paint. Similar to Waxaw, but Waxaw rubber duck was a bit better than Waxaw. Stone chip's alright, but it fades.
Don't like Hammerite. You're not a Hammerite fan?
Nah, I mean the old Hammerites were alright. It was mediocre. I class it as mediocre, but back in the day we had Smooth Right, we had Jap Black, which surpasses that. You know, so if I'm in the shop and there's Hammerite and there's Smooth Right and there's Jap Black, I'm taking all the Jap Blacks and all the home styles.
I'll tell you what's interesting, because if you talk to a bomber, these are the paints and cans that they talk about.
Yeah, man.
But when you talk about to a pizza, obviously, like, you know, your bunt
Yeah,
lacks
man.
and things like that.
Yeah, man.
They even car plan as long
Yeah,
with the
man.
right colours. You
Yeah,
know?
man. High coats.
Yeah, high
Pieces
coats.
know about high coats, but
Yeah.
even bomber, me and Boss used to go and rack high coats, but just because we used to go to one car shop in Queensby, and it's only a tight little car shop, yo. But when the man, I remember he's an Indian man, when he's got customers, the rack of paint's here, tight little shop, the counter's here. All he has to do is look, but we're there shirting off about 30 tins each. And then you get the high coats with small cans, so we just get loads of them.
I had a revelationary conversation. I can't remember who it was. So he was saying that to walk out of a spot, you take the caps off and put them in your mouth so they don't rattle.
Yeah.
That to me was just like, yo, like, who thought of that?
I never went that far, but
It's
that's typical graffiti writer modes. I mean, have you heard about the shirt rack? I mean, most writers we rack balls in spray paint.
Yeah.
So I learned to rack like this.
Yeah. So he's
So once
putting
I've
it in
learned-
front of his trousers.
Yeah. And look, if you didn't see me put that there, you wouldn't know. So once I learned how to walk out of the shop with one, I could walk out with 5 in my front.
Tell you,
Yeah.
if you're getting on top of a Central Line train, you
No,
don't want
no.
that where that is.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But then writers advance, innit? So Diet showed Bosch and quite a lot of other writers about shirt racking. So shirt racking, you'd wear not tight jeans, but any jeans with a belt. Your shirt, you tuck your shirt in and pull your belt so tight that your shirt is tight, yeah? So the way we'd shirt rack, I can show you right now.
Okay, so he's taking his shirt,
Have this open, yeah?
neck up, button up.
So imagine this is so tight, yeah?
So the bottom's
The
tight.
belt is tight, so no cans can come out.
Yeah.
So you go in the shop, instead of going balls in,
Underneath.
we learnt to do this.
From the neck down.
Look how quick that is.
Yeah.
Now this first one goes right on my spine there.
Oh shit, it does.
You see
So
there?
he's just spun it round.
Obviously we wear puffer coats. I wouldn't go in the shop like this. But once you've got one there,
Yeah, around the back.
obviously your belt's tight.
Right, so
should
basically,
get 10.
what's going on here is he's chucked the can around his down his top of his top, and he's revolved it round to the back,
Yeah.
so you can't
always-
even
the
see
first one you chuck down, you get one there.
round at the back of the back.
Yeah? So once that one's there, of course you can chuck as many as you want and just do this, look, and they all line up.
So you basically, it's all wrapped around
Yeah,
you.
so basically I should get 8
my
or
God.
9 round me. So this one would be the first one.
Yeah.
I go 1, 2, 3, bang, there's 4, then this side, and then I'd have a circle.
I think
me.
if you're not hearing this correctly, you are getting the gist. Basically, he's essentially a Michelin man of just fucking cans.
So basically, yeah, once you've got 10 around you, you've made a platform. Then you get another 10. So you've got doubled up.
Yeah.
So I used to walk out of a shop with 20 cans.
20. You were walking away.
Animal rackers, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, in graffiti you learn to rack, especially spray paint. That's a staple. So, like I said, most writers learn how to rack. Anyway, some writers put it under their arm, wear a puffer jacket, but most writers balls it off. But once we learned how to shirt rack, that was like amazing. The first time I went into a B&Q and I come out with 20 cans, walk past security, had a puffer on. They can't even see I've got 20 cans on me. Oh, we always used to pick up a Dulux, pretend that we're buying paint and just walk out. It's amazing. And the good thing about that method, they don't rattle. No. That's why you have it tight.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you notice, when I threw that down, it didn't move. It went straight to my spine. Yeah, you just do that, and then from that first one's on your spine, they just all go around. You'd be surprised. Diet was an animal racker. That's why I said big up Diet when I mentioned shirt racking. He'd go into a Texas, any shop. There'd be a rack of paint there in about, like how he paints. In about 10 seconds, they've gone. My man's gone. We're all there, like still, we're not trying to master it.
You know what? There is an element of me where I think to myself, oh man, it's times like that technology's allowed things to just be pushed away aside and forgot about. It's kind of what this podcast is kind of about. There's a lot of this, there's a lot of conversations here where I feel to myself, this would never ever be told because it just doesn't happen in 2022 onwards like that.
Yeah, this is real history we're talking about. The methodical ways to get paint, it's the method. It was the method. And
unless you, of course, Zombie, whereby you get rarities in your hands, and but that's for the OGs.
I mean, how times have changed, man. I mean, we've got ink in the can.
Yeah, it's mad.
But back in the day, part of your day, firstly, I'd wake up. I've already arranged to meet Diet, so I'd meet Diet at a certain platform on the lines. He's there, bunning his big zoo, as he always used to be. Funny, every time I meet him, he's there early. Writer's always on time. We always meet each other. Meet Diet, then we go to a few plots. We go Dunstable, go Luton. There's plots everywhere. And a few hours, man's coming home with 30, 40 cans. Do you know what I'm saying? And then we go a separate way. Sometimes we wouldn't. Sometimes we'd stay together all day. But most of the time, we'd take that paint home, plot, sort out what we're getting, and meet up later and go and do a mission. Yeah, so that was basically our days, man.
It's times that can't be repeated, or if they are repeated, it's not in the same vein. Talk to me about why Idea and Odea? Like, what in names? Because how come you flit?
Well, when I first got arrested, I got hotted basically from my name, Idea.
Right.
And then I basically just thought of Odea just as a tag. I thought just to replace the I, because I didn't really want to change my tag. So, yeah, basically it's for speed and just it just made sense. And I like the fact, in Graff we can spell things different. So Odea really is spelled O-H-D-E-A-R. Odea, two different words. But I thought Idea, Odea, it's one thing, isn't it? And it just flows. Yeah. It goes. Yeah. So instead of doing the I like that, which I used to love my I tag, I used to do it the other way. My old school Idea tag was flowy. But I got hotted for that style, so I do stick it up now and again, but I can't really go ham on it. So, it just made sense, man.
The way that you have constructed your letters and the way in which it's easily applicable, and I say this with total and utter respect.
Oh, respect, brother.
It constantly looks smooth. It doesn't look like halfway through the tag you've suddenly clocked someone, you've had to cut. No, it just...
Just flow.
Yeah.
It flows. That's what I love.
The application to paint. Yeah. So the coverage is the same.
Yeah. And that comes with tagging, innit? Tagging, and it's all integrated. I mean, once you've perfected your tag style, it shows in your piecing style. Your pieces, your letters will flow more like... Even though I'm not a piecer, but I understand this, the theory, the method. Like, everyone starts with a tag, and you perfect your tag. And everyone starts toy first. I mean, if you don't admit you're a toy, you're lying to yourself. Everyone's a toy at the beginning. But over time, you learn to master your tag. You learn how to hold a pen a certain way. You know, some people don't know how to hold a 30mm. Or any pen, I mean. I've met writers, they'll pull out a pen and go, give me a go idea, and they're like holding the pen like this.
So he's got the pen out and he's
Going
just
like this. Like,
giving examples to the screen.
Okay, so you have a chisel tip, you're supposed to hold that at an angle. So if you used to do a tag like this, it's not going to come out all right. Like, it's going to come out mad.
So what angle are you holding?
You hold it like this. So you're getting the flow and the fatness of that.
So like at a 1 o'clock angle.
You utilise that, yeah. So this needs to be like this. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You can't use any pen. I mean, this is a small 30mm. This is a 20mm, yeah?
Yeah.
You can't use it like that. I mean, that's just toy. It's a toy action.
It's like an angle. So the angle of 1 or 2 o'clock is the one.
Yeah, you need to hold a pen like this.
Yeah.
And it's the same. There's methods in Graff, like spray can. Like, when I first started doing pieces or dubs,
Yeah.
I was toy like everyone's toy. I used to hold the can so close to it and everything's dripping. The first panel I done was like a drip.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there.
Regret and cherish. They were like, I do, man. What are you doing? Like, look how we're holding it. They had to tell me, like, you know. And that's what I love about Graff. When you're around good writers, they will always help you out, always show you.
1,000%.
Like, 1,000%, you see? It's so true.
But they have to trust and believe in you as well.
Yeah.
There's an energy and a personality trait that it defines a traditional writer, isn't there?
Yeah, I fully believe that. I mean, you can get up as a writer, you'll get love from other writers, whether you're toy or not. I mean, just getting up in itself, it's
a lot.
You put in work,
Yeah.
and you risked your liberty in a way, and whatever else. There's a lot that comes with it. So even if you are toy, if you put in work, you'll get respect. But once you've mastered things and you learn and you realise, it's like, wow, it just goes, man. I mean, to master tagging, I'm not saying I'm a master, but I understand it, you know? I understand tagging.
I want to go on to something else in a minute, but what? Let's talk about the tools here. So, do you just use normal ink pen, pen or?
I use fibbins.
Yeah.
Like,
so fibbins is the thing, yeah.
Yeah, the leather dye. Back in the days, we used to go to Woolworths.
Yeah.
And we go similar like the rubber duck. I don't know why it was just perfect for writers. When you'd go to the back of a Woolworths, you'd go past the pick and mix and all that, have a few sweets. But right at the back, they've got leather dye all right in some sick place, which is perfect to rack.
Really?
I mean, you can take the whole lot if you want. No one's going to ever see you.
And why would you take leather dye ever?
Because that goes in pens. Like,
exactly. But they wouldn't know that. They
wouldn't know that. I mean, back in the days, it was Punch leather dye from Woolworths and Maltonian. We used to rack that from the shoe shops.
Here's the other thing about these writers, right?
Yeah.
Is you never got stains ever on any of your body, any of your clothes, any of your skin, nothing.
Well, I used to.
Really?
I used to come home covered. Yeah. And my clothes used to get, you know.
It's a lot of work, innit?
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
How do you
It's
feel
good
about
work.
that?
It's good work. It's good work.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm not as potent as I used to be, but
No, I haven't.
it's something that
Yeah.
I feel it will never leave me.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
understand? I know you understand that. It can't leave me.
Yeah. It's like me with beatboxing, I suppose. It's like it's a thing that. Oh, if you pass me the mic, yeah, I'm fucking in.
That's right.
But you'd have to do quite a lot to get me to do something like without any cash. Do you know what I mean? It's pay to play these days. But at the same time, I get it because there is this. If I see another beatbox, I get irked. And I'm like, yeah, that's sick what you just done. Or I can do that. Let me try. You know what I mean? It's that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot of that.
It's a creative process. But like you said, before we skipped along here to the paint and the inks, you are risking your liberties. How many times have you been bagged?
I've been bagged. Oh, that's a hard one to think of. I've been bagged. If you used to see I should have bought my criminal record, you would have. My criminal record is 90% or 80% criminal damage, I'd say, from back when I was younger. I used to get nicked, racking paint sometimes. Or the first time I got arrested, big up Act, I got caught on top of Act's shoulders in Finsbury Park Station trying to get a high reach because we were toys, innit? Yeah. We were doing it in the daytime. We didn't know that was a BTP station. There's a BTP station in Finsbury Park. So I'm on his shoulders. From where the BR goes down, you can go down the stairs, and then there's these windy stairs that go down to the underground, them classic ones. So before you go down the windy stairs, there was a big ledge that everyone used to bomb. Keep, Excel, shoutouts. They always used to have bombs up there.
Yeah.
And we were only kids, innit? We used to think, as kids, we want to get up there.
Yeah.
So me and actors thought, let's be clever. I said, get on my shoulders. Like, I'll get on your shoulders. So he's put me on his shoulders. And I'm up there, look. BTP's only walked past, like, plodding. I'm on top of it. It's so
Hello,
funny.
lads.
It's going, hey. I've come down so quick. And we've got down to the bottom of them stairs so fast.
Wow.
But he caught us. Yeah, so that was the first time. He was only 15. Got a bang on the head, nothing. So after that, the more I got into graffiti, the more... I wouldn't say I got nicked a lot. I mean, I had a good run. Yeah, for what I've done, I had a good run. It was more in my later days, like in my 20s. I first got my first big case in 2004, where I ended up going to that big court in Westminster. It's not even there now, but it was called Middlesex Guild Hall.
Right.
The same court where Stephen Lawrence's case was.
Wow.
The murder. Yeah,
Wow.
before that. And I thought, why am I in this big court for graffiti? Like, it's just crazy. And then that's when I realised they was looking to send me to prison. Like, yeah. But I got squeezed. I got a 5-year ASBO. I've had ASBO twice. So I got a 5-year ASBO, something like an 18-month probation order, and they hit me up with the community service. I mean, I've done so much community service, bro. You wouldn't believe it. I've done over 1,000 hours.
What's the worst community service you had to do? I mean,
Sure.
it's not all good. It's just gloomy, innit?
It's community services. We could go. I've done so much, but the worst one was probably Graham Park Estate.
Oh, yeah,
Back in the day. I mean, I've done community service a few years ago, and that was my last bit I'd done, and it was all right, because the supervisor was cool. He said, let's smoke weed. He didn't work us too hard. But back in the day, they used to have you going around with the litter picker and a black bag.
Yeah.
Guess what? Targeting needles in bushes, because Graham Park was full of it.
Yeah.
You just walk around, there's needles there. But after a while, that got... because it's the danger of getting stuck in it. But that's the worst community service I've had.
That's the worst.
Horrible.
Who would put anyone through that?
I'll tell you another community service which is bad. Same estate, I've done it in there. I've done so many hours in Graham Park.
Yeah.
I've done about a 200-hour order once, and they had us picking up wet leaves in, like, just before winter. So they give us these industrial black bags.
Yeah.
So like a black bin liner, but it's big. And they say, fill that up with leaves. Now, when that's filled up, do you think you can move that? The thing weighs a ton.
It's
You need
wet
like
as well.
4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
You have to drag that, getting all wet. And to make things worse, you drag it to the lorry, and then you have to get that into the lorry.
Oh, they really punish.
Horrible work.
Because it's wet and it's heavier. and it's
Heavy.
all
I mean, you wouldn't think a bag, because they're big bags. But once that's full up with leaves, it weighs a ton. Like, there's gold in there.
God.
Believe me. So... yeah, I've done loads of community service. Half of it's all right, some of it's shit. I mean, it goes with what it is, isn't it?
What does your family think?
My mum and dad never really were onto me too bad.
Really?
Nah, I mean, they used to get pissed off when police come to the house. And that time I told you when I got nicked in 2004, the police turned up at my mum and dad's house when I was out. Yeah, I was out working or something. They've turned up. My mum's answered the door in her nightgown, bless her. And they've stuck a camera, come with news crew, with no permission, nothing.
You need a...
Yeah, my dad had to switch.
Yeah, you can't do that. Was it some sort of don't pay or we'll take it away kind of thing?
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, I don't know, like, it's just weird. Like,
the 90s were always weird. The early noughties were just as weird, weren't they? It was very surreal, the way writers were punished.
Yes.
I mean, obviously there's a for and against of everything, but I do feel like the way they deal with things in Europe is 10 times better.
Yeah, man. I mean, you might get the worst. You might get a rubber bullet in your bum, if you catch a chase. But even if you get caught in your, I mean, I've spoken to writers in France, trying and all that. They said, no, the most we get is like, to get a prison sentence, you would have to do the whole of Europe. Big up Tran, TPK, all them, man, because they smashed it and they lived that.
Yeah.
I mean, Tran went on the run.
You met him?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's
love him.
so sick, yeah.
I was speaking to I1 on Instagram the other day. I love them lot. I love TPK.
Yeah, big up my French crew.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Urban Vampires 2, watch that film.
Oh, yeah, I've been told about this.
Bad Boy.
That's a name that I
Watch
earmarked
it.
and I forgot.
Watch
yeah,
it.
That's cool.
It's about 2 hours long of just pure... It's just been edited good. It's all good footage. It's all underground stuff. Pure trains, bit of street bombing. I mean, them lot, it's just a sick film.
Yeah.
Sick film and good music.
remember when the Dirty Hands came out.
Bad. That's another one.
They're still injections.
I love Dirty Hands 3. I think is it 3?
Two. There's one. Is there 3?
I think it was Dirty Hands 3 or 2 or 3. The one where he comes to London for a bit and then goes France and then he ends in New York. Maybe it's 2.
Comment below. Come on.
Yeah, the bad film.
Yeah.
Bad film.
It's just iconic.
Yeah.
I remember getting one of them at Mr. Bongo's back in the day.
Yeah.
You're a hip hop head as well, so you know.
Big up Deal Real. Big up Mr. Bongos.
Yeah.
Big them all up.
I miss those days. The last time we did a podcast, I was saying this when we connected beforehand. I would put that in my top 3 moments of just iconic for me moments of we got so drunk we were just listening to hip hop.
Yeah, we were vibing there, innit?
Big up B-Boy Documents as well.
I remember I left Wavy that day.
Yeah, we left Wavy. And we had all these maps. Like B-Boy Docs had the maps, didn't he?
Man.
We were doing tube maps, weren't we?
Crazy. I can't even remember that. I must have been Wavy.
It was good.
It's so funny. Good day.
Yeah, and I remember the sun bleaching through and we just said chilling, listening to...
Yeah, man. Sick.
See, it's days like that that make you really appreciate and value the times with people, innit?
Yeah, man. It's good times, man.
Do you want to give some shout-outs?
Yeah, man. I'd love that. Yeah, man.
Well,
shit, yeah. I've had to...
These one he's made earlier. He got done last time.
I have to give props to, obviously, because last time I forget, so this time I know who to shout out.
Yeah, go.
So props to DDS, PFB, WD. Obviously, I can't say how much I looked up to these guys, PFB especially. When I was growing up, I wanted to be like them. Yeah, so, and then we've got TKS, big up CBM boys, big up FDZ, Edit, look out for Ling, big her up.
Big up Ling, yeah.
TPK, Fuzi, I1, who I just mentioned, French bad boys, Tran. Big up Reese, Spat, Aerosol Infantry, Bosch, Ouch, Brothers, Zonk, Band, Tease, Tizer, Rust, Neat and Cough, Force, Enter, Zombie, an event, Chrome and Black Crew, 100, cannot forget them.
Come on.
UK Frontline, I love to big them up. County Lines,
Yeah, of course,
love.
hold tight County Lines, yeah.
And Fibs, I like
Big
to
up
big
UK
up
Frontline.
Rare, On Me.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to big up Dune, Sense, because I spoke to Co as well. Big up Co, because he lives on the other side of the world now. And when he saw my first podcast with you, he sent me so much love. He's like, bro.
That's so
And he actually said, yeah, you'd have to do another one.
Yeah,
I loved
man.
it. So
shout
big
to
up Co.
Big shout to International Crew, because there was a bunch of you that
they're
tuned
a big part of the scene back in the day. I'd like to big up CD, Dre, Right, Kiss 42, bad ones.
Still
I used to
doing
rate
it.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiss 42 and all them lot. I used to rate them, and they're just all people that I used to love. Casa, Offski, IREC, all of RL.
Hell yeah.
And I'd like to
Doing
say
bits.
big up to Pilot, Aggro, Move, Seb, all of the BK crew. Love them.
Oh, BK, man.
Love
all of
them.
your hand styles, man. Cold.
Big up Can One,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah,
jumped
big up
on
Can,
there. Because when I saw his podcast, I was like, bro, everything he said, he was just like, oh, I love the geezer. And I never met him back in the day. He's one writer. There's been a few writers that back in the day I looked up to, and I puzzled out how haven't we never met each other. So Cam One, big up. I used to see him up on Northern so much. Here, Measy, big up. Love. B-Boy Documents, big up. And then, obviously, my breakdance people, second to none, love them. Rocksteady Crew, Flying Steps Academy, big up. Red Bull BC1, big up. And Monster Energy, big up.
Come on.
For supporting the scene.
Yeah, big time. And hold tight. Also KTC as well. Big
Yeah,
up.
KTC. Oh, yeah, how can I forget?
bro,
Near, Plug,
Ace
all
Me,
of them.
yep.
Ace Me, big up.
Fabe, hold tight.
I'm sure I wrote that there. I don't know how I missed it. But
No, so I got you.
Yeah, bless.
It's
Anyone else that I forgot, I'm sorry. It's just,
Yeah. Hold tight.
hopefully I've covered most bases.
You
And big up Killa Kela, man. I love this brother. I'm done for setting this platform. It's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, man. Listen, every day is a pinch myself moment. I always have a great time. And
Yeah, it's
just
good.
returning guests and having
It's
real
good stuff.
Yeah, just the best, man. And I hope you guys are feeling it as well out there. You know what I mean? It's love over here, and sharing is caring. You know exactly what to do. You know what I mean? Just tell a friend to tell a friend. We're not doing this for our health. We're doing it for prosperity in the scene. Big shout out to everyone, all the regulars. We're out like it was out of fashion. I don't talk to anyone I wouldn't.
Peace.
Peace.